domestic groups that we have to pay attention to here are white supremacist groups. They're anti-government, in most cases anti-abortion. They are usually survivalist type in nature, identity-oriented. Those groups are groups that claim to be extremely anti-government and Christian identity-oriented.
Can you imagine this moron, this imbecile, this child? This child is selected by Barack Hussein Obama to head up the TSA at a time like this. It's not bad enough that we're stuck with Janet Napolitano, that we're stuck with Eric Holder. Now he wants to take another left-wing fanatic who apparently distrusts returning veterans, distrusts Christians, distrusts those who have a commitment to being anti-abortion. Those who question anything Obama says is now anti-government and will go on a watch list that this schmuck is going to be in charge of. Don't you see the danger you're in? Don't you liberals realize you yourselves could wind up in trouble because of a man like him? Don't you understand this? What has happened to you Democrats? Have you all lost your minds? Is it the seltzer? Is it the water in New York City? What did it to you? 1-800-449-8255. Chicago. Terry, go ahead, please. You're on the Savage Nation.
Michael, you got it wrong. Christian identity is an ideology that the supremacists use against minorities. He's not talking about Christians. He's talking about Christian identity, which is a religion of itself, and it's a religion of hate.
Oh, I'm aware of that, but why would he say most of the groups that the government has to pay attention to are white supremacist groups rather than radical Islamic groups? Why doesn't he say we have to be radical Muslims rather than radical Christians?
Well, you know, these guys are just as bad as the Muslims. They both want to lop your heads off and destroy the government. I don't know this guy from there, but I just wanted to bring you up to date with what I did.
Well, let me ask you something. When was the last time a Christian identity individual hijacked an airplane?
Hey, you know what? That may be so, Michael, but they have killed people.
When is the last time somebody who is a racist, Christian identity-oriented individual or a survivalist type tried to take an airplane and crash it into a city?
But they kill people all the time, Michael.
All right, name one person they've killed.
Name one person they kill. I read this Southern Poverty Law stuff, and I know you don't.
As far as I'm concerned, the head of the Southern Poverty Law Center is a criminal. He should be in jail. The man is a gangster, in my opinion. The entire Southern Poverty Law Center is a criminal organization. If we had a legitimate government, they'd be investigated under RICO for the amounts of money they've stolen from people. In my reading of the Southern Poverty Law Center, they're amongst the most evil, dangerous group in the country. They're worse than any group I've ever seen. They take away land from farmers. Did you know that the Southern Poverty Law Center stole a farm from a farmer in Texas who tried to defend his land from illegal aliens running across it? They took the man's farm from him. Do you know that?
Yes, I do. And, Michael, they stopped a lot of your enemies, too. So they play both sides of the fence, but they do some good.
Who does some good?
Southern Poverty Law Center. How many?
Name one thing they've done that's good.
How many Nazis have they put away in bankrupt?
How many Nazis have threatened you in your lifetime? You're talking about 90-year-old men who committed atrocities 60 years ago?
Neo-Nazis who exist today.
Neo-Nazis? Let me tell you something. The neo-Nazis in this country are dangerous, but the neo-fascists in the Southern Poverty Law Center, the ACL, the National Lawyers Guild and others, by the way, affect me more directly than the neo-Nazis do.
Well, that may be with you, but, you know, like I said, Michael, they do some good. I understand.
What good? Name one good that the Southern Poverty Law Center has done. They have done no good. And by the way, do you think that they do it for the good of humanity or they do it for personal gain? Do you know how much money this guy makes? Do you know how much money this guy Potok made last year? What do you think he is, one of these poor, downtrodden lawyers who does it for the good of humanity? These are greedy, aggressive men using the Southern Poverty Law Center racket going back to the civil rights movement in order to steal money and land that doesn't belong to them, in my estimation. They are a dangerous, RICO-oriented group. Thank you for the call. What a group he brings up as a... See, he knows, this caller knew, where this TSA nominee Erol Suthers got his talking points from. He got it from Mark Potok and the Southern Poverty Law Center. This is one of their web pages, which is that you have to watch out for the white Christian, you have to watch out for the anti-abortion people, you have to watch out for survivalist types. Without one word Not one word about CAIR, not one word about the Muslim Brotherhood, not one word about the many, many cells of Islamic radicals training to kill you in this country. Not one word from these devious communists in the Southern Poverty Law Center. And so, my friends, you must reject TSA nominee Erol Suthers, or you're going to all be on a watch list, in my opinion.